to think that I can accomplish everything that I've accomplished in my career and not be a student of the game and not have that passion and not take this serious is almost, it's disrespectful, and it's almost a joke.
All right, well, in keeping with the mess that has now become Kyler and his contract, here's what the Cardinals had to say. After seeing the distraction it created, we removed the addendum from the contract. It was clearly perceived in ways that were never intended. I have to know what those ways were. Our confidence in Kyler Murray is as high as it's ever been, and nothing demonstrates our belief in his ability to lead the team more than the commitment reflected in this contract. Nick, I start with you. What was your reaction when you heard all of this yesterday?
This is the final confirmation that I needed, Jenna, that the Cardinals are not a serious franchise and they're not run by serious people. Sorry. I know it sounds harsh. But to not anticipate, if Greg, I don't want to say Greg, if a friend of ours came on, came on the show and was like, hey, you seem down. It's like, yeah, I got in a huge fight with my wife. It's like, oh, what happened? He's like, I don't know. Like, I just asked her if she would be mad if I went on a date with this lady at work. Like, it was just a date. I don't know why. And it's like, oh, you're shocked she got mad. Well, you're an idiot. Like, okay, oh, you're shocked that there was a media firestorm that you put in a no video games clause in your player's contract after giving him $230 million. You're not a serious franchise. Like, what are you talking about? And it is now, Greg, something that I think follows them throughout the year, and they're kind of in a no-win scenario when you look at their schedule. I think they're going to, Greg, start off slow because they have a brutal opening 3 games. But even, let's say, for instance, they start off strong, Greg, because the narrative has always been about end-of-season collapses. Look at those final 8 games. They have 2 easy ones, the Falcons and the Patriots. Everything else is a potential loss there. So if they start off slow, this is a problem. If they start off well, it doesn't fix anything. And so I just think what should have been a week of celebration of Kyler Murray turned into impromptu press conferences, terrible PR, and a lot of Call of Duty memes. It's embarrassing for the organization.
It really is, Nick, and I'll jump right in. Number one, I commend Kyler Murray for calling that presser and saying, "Look, I'm not gonna just let everybody say what they want to say and me not say anything." Number one, great. I love the shirt, easy, and everybody's like, he's trolling. Look, sometimes things are easy for individuals. Everybody's not on the same playing field. Everybody's not given the same gifts, the same skills, the same tools. Kyler Murray makes things look easy. He also, obviously, to the Cardinals, need to stick to studying a little bit more because they know him more than anything. However, this is all on the Cardinals. And Nick, I felt the same way. I'm like, who upstairs, who in upper management allows this to even be a thing where you don't just sit down with your franchise player that you're giving $46 million to a year and just say, hey, look, we're gonna do this deal, but we just need to make sure that you're going to be locked in. We know that you're a gamer. We know that we know that you're 24 years old and you have a life outside of football. But if we're going to invest this amount of money in you, we just want to make sure that you're going to be committed. You don't put that in a binding contract, which lets everyone in the world know, whoa, this is a problem. We feel like this is a problem. Because if it was never a big concern, you don't put that in a binding contract. So this is on the Cardinals. This is just bad. This is a bad look on the Cardinals. And I'm with you, Nick. They make it more pressure. They put more pressure on Kyler Murray now because anything that he does and this team doesn't win and he plays poorly, everybody's going to go to, well, did he study? Did he prepare? He didn't look like he was as prepared as he should be. That's what the narrative is going to be now.
That's right.
Well, look, I agree with everything both of you guys said about the Cardinals. They look far worse than Kyler Murray and Nick said not serious, they look incompetent. And especially when you look at them drafting Josh Rosen, getting rid of him after a year. Who's the head coach? Wasn't he there just 1 year, the guy before Kingsbury? Like, I mean, they look like they don't have any clue as to what they're doing, okay? But here, Greg, I will say this, though. I don't think Kyler is completely innocent in this. All right? I mean, I believe, I would think that the Cardinals did have a conversation with him. Would rather have it just been a conversation. And maybe, I'm assuming, did they get some pushback from Kyler and his agent? Like you said, look at what I do. We won 11 games. You were a 3-win team before I got here. I've made the Pro Bowl twice. You know, what I'm doing is fine. I know I'm not doing, like, maybe I gotta believe they put in there and they shouldn't have. It's idiotic. But there has to be a reason. And Kyler, as much as he sounded good at the press conference yesterday, although he shouldn't be mad at the media, he should be mad at the Cardinals, all right? And maybe he was directing it toward them. He didn't take questions. And I think he should have taken questions from the media, because the first one would have been, well, why is it in the contract? All right? Why is it in there? And Greg, you know this. Guys can work hard. I say this about a lot of NBA guys. They work hard at what they want to work hard at. They work hard on their handle. They work hard on their three-point shot. But a lot aren't working hard on their weaknesses. They're not adding something to their game. And Kyler probably is in that group. I'm sure he works hard, incredibly hard. But is he doing enough film study? So, look, the Cardinals are in the wrong more so than Kyler, but I just can't absolve him, Wilds, of any part in this fiasco.
Okay. He also agreed to the contract, correct? So the fact that it's out, like this wasn't put in, and tell me if I'm wrong, Nick, this was agreed to and then got out and then removed. It's not like it was added post-signature. So that everybody agreed that this was okay. So the idea that you're coming out and being so furious at it, it's like, all right, well, you could also, like, that's why you have an agent. Get this nonsensical addendum out there. And when the bottom line is this, Nick, do you think that Kyler is going to study more, the same, or less? I would bet everything I had that when it came down to it, Kyler will study more this year than he ever has in his entire life. And maybe it's one of those like happy accidents from their own incompetence from the Cardinals or his agent. But I bet when the rubber meets the road, Kyler ends up studying more and is then more prepared and more successful. So it's an ugly way to get there, but I bet that's what happens this year.
Yeah, but this is where your own kindness betrays you at times, Wilds, and you might be right. But this is where it's good that you're a really good person, and you not only find the good in things, I think you usually act with the best of intentions. There are people out there, one of them might be talking right now, that has a little bit more bleep you in them than you do, which is, really? Okay. You guys embarrassed me. You basically said you know what I mean, that I'm unprofessional.